The 2 times I met this Hall of Famer and legend were in New York City. The first time was at a Madden launch event, and he's one of the few athletes to escape the Madden curse. He introduced me to the concept of playing video games for push-ups. The last time I met him, he was working with a firm to build affordable housing in underserved neighborhoods. He is equal parts one of the greatest football players and motivators in the history of planet Earth, 2-time Super Bowl champion. It's a pleasure to have you on the Cabbie Presents podcast, Ray Lewis. Great to see you, sir.
Cabbie, good to see you again, man.
You have that Adrian Peterson, or maybe Adrian Peterson has your grip strength that my dude, like now I have arthritis in my right hand from shaking your hand. You're here to launch a program, which is right in your wheelhouse. The Ray Lewis No Excuses Lifestyle Bootcamp, which is designed by you to teach people all around the world how health and wellness is connected through 6 main pillars. I'm adding 3: mind, body, spirit, blood, sweat, and tears. You have multiple sides of your personality. You're a human. Mm-hmm. When people attend the boot camp, do they get fiery coach Ray Lewis, or do they get like Sade album spiritual advisor Ray Lewis?
Sade album?
Right? Because she's the smoothest ever. And I feel like you have those varying parts of your personality.
I do, but I think the personality that they get is kind of, like my kids, right? So I'm a father to them, but when I train with them, I'm a partner to them, right? And so the people that's coming to the camp, like, I train with them. Like, I want them to feel what it feels like when you're ready to give up, and then look at me when you can't give up. Like, there's no other option. Like that's why the camp is called No Excuses, right? We're not here to create another New Year's resolution, right? And say, oh, I'm changing this year. No, absolutely not. I tell you what you can do. You can come with your mindset to actually change your lifestyle, right? Because once you change your lifestyle, so one of the things about me and my trainer that was so unique, right? That when
you were playing, or this program?
Both.
Okay.
Both, right? Because leading up to it, right? And so that's one of the real gems in this, right? Is that what I'm now sharing is what I've lived my entire career since 2001, right? And so now you're talking about introducing a lifestyle to someone in a camp setting that says, now you have to go continue this. I'm not the one that's going to continue it for you. I'm going to give you the blueprint. Right, but unlike a lot of these programs that you try them for 2-3 weeks, man, your back's messed up and all these things, right? So I created a lifestyle camp that actually you can do it for the rest of your life. And that's what I think the real goal of it is.
Just listening to you right now, Ray, if you said, Cabbie, I want you to run through that wall, I will run through the wall.
I believe
with
you
my
will.
mouth open.
I really believe you would.
Right. And they're just looking at you in the eyes, bro. Just like I feel like I could do anything. So, which is awesome. Okay, I mentioned push-ups off the top. In the first time we met, you said when you're on the cover of the Madden game, everybody wanted to test you. Yeah. And then when you would beat your teammates or whatever, you made them do push-ups. I don't know if it was 10 push-ups or 25 push-ups, and they had to give them to you whenever you wanted.
It's called on demand.
On demand, of course. Yeah. Now, at this boot camp, how many push-ups are people expected, or will
they? Do you really want me to give away my secret sauce? Absolutely not.
Well, it's not just in the push-ups. I know it's in
a
the
lot of
spirit
push-ups. Let's just say it's a lot of push-ups.
Do you make them do burpees too, Ray?
Wow, you know about burpees too.
Burpees are whoever created burpees is one of the worst human beings ever in history.
Why though?
Burpees are awful.
They're awful
bro.
if you're not used to them.
Yeah, but how can you get used to waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning? That sucks. Can you get used to cold water showers? That also sucks. Burpees, also on the list of what sucks in life.
You can get used to all of those things, which is why the camp is relevant, right? Because the greatest thing about if you put greatness on one side and good on the other, the one beauty of greatness is the consistency of what you fell in love with. And that's whether it's burpees, whether it's training, what it is, it's falling in love with it because you become so consistent. It doesn't become a burden. It becomes who you are. And once you create that, when you train with someone or someone that tries to train with you, you sit there in your spirit and you're like, really?
Maybe you do that because you're a legend. You're one of the greatest to ever play your sport. So that would be intimidating for some fat bastard like me with a dad bod with no kids who shouldn't really have a dad bod, but I have one anyway, to come to your boot camp.
Not really.
What do you mean not really?
Because the camp is built for me to meet you exactly where you are.
Oh, okay.
I'm not asking you to live my life. I'm asking you to create your own lifestyle.
Okay.
Right? And that's why we're talking about lifestyle boot camps, but we're talking about no excuses. Why? Because you just gave me every excuse. Oh, I'm the dad at home. I'm the kid.
No, I'm not a dad,
right?
but I have a dad
No,
bod.
but I'm saying
Which is unfortunate.
So you're that guy at home that's like, no, I can't. Like, I can't do his workouts. You're not trying to do my workouts, right? You're trying to do your workouts. That's why the camp, when you need to come tonight. And,
really
and you
do.
know what? And I'm putting you on the spot. You need to come and
I'm going to a Raptors game.
a freaking Raptors game. They got their money. They making their checks. I'm trying to get you taken care of. So you need to physically get yourself.
I need to fly to wherever you live, and then I need to do one of those. Okay, you mentioned earlier, falling in love. When you, I believe you said, I get paid for the 6 days of practice, and I'll give you Sundays for free. Some variation of
Always,
that.
yeah.
Your passion was electric, and I'm not sure if you're the reason that you caused the power outage in Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans because of a halftime speech, but we'll get to that in just a second. But look, when you entered the building, the stadium, you had that signature entrance. Mm-hmm. Will people learn this entrance at your boot camps, or will you tell them the origin? Because I'm not sure that I know the origin.
You don't know the origin?
Of that specific entrance, like how you develop those particular moves, and then what part of the universe you channeled that bolt of electricity to then charge 10,000 homes around.
Yeah, you know what?
stadium.
I'm gonna give you a short version of it, right?
Sure.
Like when I first started it was pure fun, right? I was a former military vet guy, and he just loved. I love him. He loved me, and he had this bond. We had this crazy bond, and every time I came home to my hometown, Lakeland, he was always doing something for me, a dance, a new song,
Oh, really?
or whatever, right? And then there was this song back early 90s called Let Me See You Squirrel, right? And so there was crazy dances you can do with it. So you can make it your own thing, put your own style to it. And I came home one time, long story short, and he was like, I got a dance for you. And so he did this dance, and I'm like, wow. And I said, look, guess what? I said, I'm going to do your dance on TV one day.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he was like, no, you're not. I was like, yes, I am. So Marvin Lewis was our defensive coordinator at the time, I think 98, 99. I went to Marvin. I was like, Marv, they're going to introduce defense today. I was like, so I'm going to do something a little special when we come out, right? I came out the tunnel last, and I did the dance, and before Twitter was even out, Twitter was broke. It's like everybody was like chiming in, like, he has to dance every week. He has to dance every week. And then after that, it became kind of a spiritual thing, right? Because I was, kind of convicted that I never wanted it to be a selfish thing, right? It was for my city, it was for my team, and it was for, that last battle cry, like, this is why we're here. We're here to fight. I don't care about scoreboards. We're here to fight for each other. And so, man, I'm sitting in the house one night, and as I'm praying and as I'm going through it, and then I started to realize when I was going to the left started to be going to the left for the Father. And when I came back to the right, it was for the Son. And then when I came back into the middle, it was for the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit all in one. So when I started to actually get more deeper into it, I actually started to release all fears that I had before I went into battle.
You're a real life superhero.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's like there's Thanos. There's this popular moniker, and you certainly helped to amplify it because you were the defensive power, the force of two Super Bowl champion teams. In this day and age, this offensive era of NFL football, can defenses win championships anymore?
They still win them.
When?
When did they stop winning them?
Well, last year wasn't like Philly was like 40-something.
So let's take the first round of the wild card playoffs, right? Let's be very careful with words, right? Because the first round.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Right?
I know you're going. You're going to do the Pacey, the kicker from the Bears, the defensive guy had his hand on the
absolutely
on the field goal.
I'm just telling you, we had one of the lowest scoring playoff wild card games, wild card weekends since 2009. Yeah, so while everybody keeps screaming offense, the games are won by defense.
I mean, Drew Brees is completing passes like an 80% clip.
Dan Marino was doing that too.
Was he?
Joe Montana was doing that too.
Not at 80%.
What was the difference?
Also, but here's the difference, Ray. Like if you were fresh out of the U now entering
that's different. That's a
you
different.
You can't even blow on a quarterback, my dude.
That's a different question. It's a totally different question.
So we are in this offensive era, is what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's way harder for defenses to win.
It is, but I tell you this.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave this with you.
Okay.
The best defense in the playoffs
is a good offense.
The best defense in the playoffs ends up in the Super Bowl. Let's me and you bet 500 push-ups on that.
500, Ray?
Absolutely. And I'm going to want them on demand while you're doing your show. Every break, I'm going to need 50.
In a row?
Absolutely. See, look, now your blood pressure done went up. See?
Now I'm just like, ooh, my body's like, dad bod's like, starting coughing. I'm getting a rash in my neck. I would like to say, oh my goodness, 500. I don't know if I've ever even done 500.
You don't even know what you're
life.
betting, though. See, because you don't pay attention to it like that. You guys, the avid fan takes the game, and they say, they scored, touchdown. Wow, great offensive game. Really? Nobody breaks down the game. Nobody breaks down defense. You go through any reporter, go through anybody who's talking about football. Who breaks down defense? Nobody. Why? Because it takes a special person to break down defense, right? You guys talk about Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, all of these guys. I spent my life figuring those guys out, right? And so when you start to figure those guys out, you know what you figure out? Wow, really? It's not really about offense. It's actually about defense. And that's why I love, interesting enough, right, transitioning to my camp, right? It's created from that type of mentality. Offenses, right, are usually given things. Defenses, we have to take it.
Right.
That's a totally different thought process.
That's true.
You see? So when you talk about the way I created my camps, instead of me saying, I'm going to give you the tools of life, I'm going to introduce you to the tools of life. And now you have to use them.
Right.
And so that's why for my whole life, I've always had this mentality of how do you defend? Because if I can defend my spirit, then I'm courageous enough to chase what destiny really looks like. And that's what mind, body, and spirit relates to. Like that's one of the key elements that we as human beings, we miss. And that's why sports is such a huge dynamic when you ask, what molds a man? What molds a man is you have to be disciplined enough to have the consistency enough to love something so much that you'll give everything up for one moment. Listen to that. I didn't say for a game, for a moment. Because to prepare for one moment, you may spend weeks for one moment, right? So when you think about one play that you ever saw me make, you say, man, how did he make that play? That play took weeks of me studying it.
Right.
It took days of me figuring out why did they do this and why did he line up like that and why did it look like that? So when you walk into a boot camp, the first time that you take the first step, don't look back at that last step because we ain't counting that one. The only one we count is the one that you put in front of the next one. And that's why I think the defensive side always survives in everything that I do. Yeah.
I would love to submit this podcast into my education at Ryerson University because I feel like I just got a lesson from a doctorate in life from Dr. Ray Lewis. That was tremendous. I just feel my spirit growing. I know you got to go. Yeah. So where can people find the boot camp? And if it's available in different cities as you travel, whatever.
Yeah.
Where can people find that information? They want to attend the boot camp and then make the positive life choice to go get some knowledge from Dr. Ray Lewis.
Look, it's easy, right? Because we're in a social media driven world, right? So on all of my handles, right, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter,
just Ray Lewis or Ray Lewis 52?
Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Twitter, yeah. Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Absolutely. And so I think this is my thing to people. Like, don't come because you want to see me, right? Come because you want to change something about yourself. And stop letting people dictate who you will be and what you want to accomplish. Because tonight, somebody's life will change in this boot camp tonight.
Amazing.
Right? Because somebody that's coming tonight, they're going through something, right? And one of the craziest things about men won't share their deepest pains, but they'll train with you. And the moment that you get them to that threshold of pain that they think they can't push through it, and you actually give them the ability to push through it, you then gain somebody whose life has changed immediately, instantly, while you watch it. So it's interesting, like people say, why you do these camps? Because me and my trainer started these camps so many years ago, because when you see people's lives, when you see a light, dim, gone, father at home, overweight, giving up in life, nobody likes me, I'm not attractive, really? I tell you what you can do. you can do what you want to do whenever you get ready to do it. And so if you're joining me tonight or you're joining me wherever I am next camps, you're only joining me. My number one question I'm asking everybody at the camp tonight, everybody will repeat this. You're here. Why? Because you choose to be here. That's why I don't need no excuses from nobody. I need us to come to work tonight. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Ray. Okay, 500 push-ups. I'm in.
For what?
Okay,
you don't even know what you're betting.
No, we bet the
don't even know what you're
the
betting.
best defense will win the Super Bowl.
You don't even know what you're betting.
That's what you said.
Well, okay, so how do you justify that? You just gonna listen to me? That'd be a good follow.
Okay, wait. The best. Okay, I suppose statistically the best defense in the in the regular season in the playoffs. Wait, I feel like you're trying to back out of this thing.
I don't have to back out. The game's gonna take care of themselves.
Okay, well, I'll try to find you at some point, and if I win the bet by some metric that the best defense did not win the Super Bowl, then I will.
But I want these 500 push-ups recorded, and I want military-style push-ups. I want chest down, full extension up. Don't give me these little short things.
You don't have control over the push-ups I'm going to do, okay, Ray?
Really?
You have control over a lot of things.
You ain't done them in a while. That's why.
That's a true story. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Lewis. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.